welcome to my channel. I am a budget mama based in the UK and my little family of 3 is working to a cash budget to help us keep control of our finances. Today's video I'm going to be stuffing our weekly cash envelopes. That is the money we spend week to week, and for us we put £170 into that every week. So we've got 20, 40, 60, 80, 120, 40, 60, 170. And as always, I'm going to need more 10s, so I'm going to have to find those from somewhere in a moment. So first thing we do is we go through, you and me together, we do this. We go through and take out what was left from last week. So food wise, there was a little bit left. I gave myself 50, pretty sure I gave myself 50. There's not a huge amount left. I need to get back into kind of rolling it and having a cheaper week, because we're in need of sellotape there. We've had quite a few weeks where we've had £50, and as I've said before, if I've got it, I will spend it. So there's 250, 70, 80, maybe £3 left. There we go, £3 and a little bit of change. At least there's stuff left and we didn't spend like over the budget. I need a dish. There we go. So it's a hell of a dirty penny. Right, so food done, self-care, not sure what we spent self-care on, probably nappies, yeah, definitely nappies, clearly something else as well because we don't have much left. There's 150 something, clothing. Can't honestly say that this was spent on clothing. Oh, I spent it on wine. Excellent, of course I did. We're going to my mum's for dinner over the weekend, so it seems rude to go empty-handed. So yes, and also, you know, I like wine, so it's as good a reason as any, right? So there's 43 and a little bit. I'm going to take the, Yes, I'm going to take the change out and I'm going to leave the notes in. Oh, get in. Get in. Thank you. Miscellaneous. No idea. There are no receipts in here. They're probably somewhere. I'm not so good at keeping my receipts. I'm not even doing very well at tracking stuff on Excel, so I'm just kind of relying on my memory, which is truly awful. So I really need to get better at kind of tracking stuff. So there's £5 and a little bit. Pets, there is some left. I think we had wet food and litter this week, and we managed to find a small bag of litter, so that has helped having money left over. 4, 5, 11 left in there, and that is our pot that we're building up for those 5-week months. So we're not taking out of that. So there's a good little dish of change, which I'd love to say will go into my penny challenge, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Let's stop that aside. So food, I know what I just said about getting back into rolling the food budget and giving myself a cheapy week, but this week we've got a couple of expenses and we need to get, so if you oh god, get your thoughts in order, right. So if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that we are making our own wine. The plan is to have that ready for Christmas. It's going to be a young wine. It's not going to be wonderful, but it will be boozy, and that is good. We are also making our own sloe gin, and that is basically done. I know because I've been drinking it and it tastes bloody delicious So what I'm going to do with the sloe berries from the sloe gin is I'm going to take them, and I found this sloe port recipe. So you take your gin soaked sloe berries, you whack them in a bottle with some wine and sugar and a bit of brandy, and you leave it for a while, and then you get a delicious sloe berry port. And I want to try that, so we're going to do that, but it means I need another bottle of wine. It doesn't have to be terribly expensive, but I need another bottle of wine for that. And we don't have any brandy, so I need brandy for that. So basically, most of my food budget is going to go on booze, but not like just me drinking booze. I'll probably drink it, let's face it. Anyway, I am coming across as an alcoholic today. Woohoo! So we're putting 50 into food. Oh my word, you probably didn't need to know all of that. I could probably have just got away with, I need to restock my cupboards. Nope, I will admit to being an alcoholic instead. So 50 in food, personal care. What do I put in personal care? No, 10, I need 10s. So I usually dip into my savings, which means that my savings no longer has any or many 10s. So I'm going to dip into the boat fund. I think 40 will do it. Sorted. So self-care wants 10. Clothing is getting 10, and that's going to top us up to 50, which is what I'm capping clothing at. So assuming I don't spend it on, you know, stuff that's not clothing, we shouldn't have to pay next week, which will give us more money to put into savings. Miscellaneous gets 10. So 40 wasn't doing it, was it? 1, 2, 3, no. But that's okay, because I've got a couple of 10s back here that I can use. Cat gets 10. And we need to pay. Get in properly. Thank you. And we need to put 10 in here. That was, oh, it's opening the wrong way. That just, no, I don't like that. That doesn't feel right. Which gives me 70, or at least it should for petrol. 20, 40, 60, 70. I have seen the petrol fund recently. I have no idea currently off the top of my head where it is, so I'm just going to tuck the petrol money in there. So that gives us no notes, so I can't put notes into my weekly challenge, but I do have a dish of change now. So I made a comment about paying this into my penny challenge. Now the problem with paying into my penny challenge is Toothless is empty. And I should have recorded it, I really should have. It was very satisfying. I took all of my coins, which included a whole bunch of pennies that I had not converted into pound coins, into the bank, paid them into the coin machine thingy. So satisfying. And we have taken the plunge. We have put that money aside into a gardening fund, and that is to get our garden sorted for growing veg next season. We've got a few little bits and bobs sorted now. We have already put in one vegetable bed. I'll insert a photo here somewhere. And I've already got a few bits growing in like some rubble bag thingies that I filled with dirt, chuck some seeds in and hope for the best. I have technically had my first harvest from that, which was about 6 pea shoots that I picked and nibbled on whilst having a little bit of me time in the garden the other day. Wow, no, is that the first? I mean, technically I have a mint plant as well that I've been picking from, but that was like before we decided to grow veggies, so I'm not counting that. I'm counting the peas as my first harvest. Um, so yeah, so I think we got up to about £180 with the penny challenge, 182 or something. I may have miscounted at some point because it didn't quite add up to what I thought it was going to add up to, and I didn't think the bank machines took like a percentage. I thought like everything that went in was supposed to go into the account, but I wasn't going to quibble with the woman about, a couple of quid. So I'm assuming that that was my error and not the machine's error. So we don't have anything in. I've not rubbed them all off yet. But there's actually nothing in my penny challenge now, and I think what I'm just going to do until the end of the year especially, and possibly going forward next year, I'm not sure, I'm just going to put all of my pounds into my weekly challenge, and then any kind of smaller change is just going to go in Toothless, and I'll deposit that in the bank at the end of the year. So what have we got? So we have 10, 16, 17, 18 pounds and 16p. Like I say, all of that loose change is just going to go into Toothless, and then the pounds can go into my smaller envelopes for my weekly challenge. Yeah, it's not ideal having emptied him already, but there were things that I wanted to get done in the garden. We need to get a polytunnel to get things growing earlier next year, and I needed to get some netting and some fleece so that we can keep things growing over winter, and also keep the birds off the seedlings. The pigeons are especially enjoying my radishes, so the leaves at least, not the roots. They've not grown yet, but so yeah, and we were umming and ahhing, and my husband and I, we are the best at procrastinating. We will talk about something, decide it's a good idea, and then we'll just not do it for fear of making the wrong decision, I think it's that investment of time and money and worrying that it's not the right thing to do in the long run. So we've bit the bullet, we've taken the plunge, every other cheesy analogy you can come up with, and we have taken the money out. I have bought some netting, I've bought some fleece, and yeah, so all we need to do now is build the rest of the raised beds. The limiting factor on that at the moment is cardboard. So we're going to do like no dig, or as no dig as we can. We need to cut out some of the lawn to build the raised beds, because I'm going to put this in and then I'm going to carry on. So yeah, so at the moment our lawn kind of sits proud of our borders. We dug out a load of weeds a couple of years ago, and we put down some wood chip, which is kind of decomposed down, so it's actually, the lawn is sitting a good probably 4 inches maybe high of the borders. So we obviously can't put a raised bed just as is. We're going to cut the lawn out. We're just going to dig down until it's level, and then we're going to put the raised beds on. But what we're going to do, and what we have done with the bed we've already put in, is we're going to put a layer of cardboard just to try and stop the weeds coming through, and then just put compost on top of that. So the limiting factor at the moment is the cardboard. Both my husband and myself are kind of accumulating cardboard from our respective workplaces. I mean, I work late, so often the cardboard has already been like baled up. And my husband's place, it's only if they get deliveries of stuff that they would actually, and they work with chemicals, so some cardboard we might not want to use because of worrying about like the chemicals leaching into the cardboard and then out into my veggie bed. Anyway, so in summary, we have taken the plunge, we're getting the garden sorted. It's just going to take a little bit of time, and that is fine. So what have we got? We've got £16 to go into my weekly challenge. So so what do I do? What do I do with my 16 quid? I could just fill my 16, but that's a lot of change. So I think what I'm going to do is fill some of my smaller ones. I mean, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day what I fill. I can always rejig them and swap them out for notes. I'm overthinking this, aren't I? I definitely am. So, never mind. I am going to fill... It doesn't matter. I'm still thinking about it. I'm still overthinking it. It doesn't matter. I know it doesn't matter. But my brain is going, but what if I do this? And blah. Overthinking everything. Sorry, little tune for you. At least I'm not singing in this video. I've got my daughter and I watching Canto the other day, and I have had the songs stuck in my head for days. I was in work. Was it last night? I don't think it was last night. I don't know. I was in work the other day, and I was just whistling We Don't Talk About Bruno and Surface Pressure, the Louisa song. Oh my god, I love that one. That is probably my favourite Encanto song. Oh my goodness, so happy and so full of change. So 6, 5, 4 and 1 are filled. It's not so much money, but it's a lot of envelopes, so that feels pretty good. Pens, that's what I need. Oh my brain, I am not with it today. Not with it in the slightest. Right, you go over there, don't fall on the floor. But yeah, I think my daughter lost interest about, I don't know, halfway through, 2/3 of the way through. And then I felt like a terrible mum because she kept coming up and asking me to play. And I'm like, no, I'm watching it. I want to finish the film. And I'm getting old because it made me cry. Any of you, I'm assuming there are quite a few mums out there. Any of you mums find that now that you're old, you cry a lot about stuff that would not normally have made you cry? Like, oh. And it's not even like it used to be like the couple stuff that made me cry when it was just me and my husband. Now it's like the mummy daughter stuff or the parent stuff, and I honestly don't remember what made me cry the other day. I think, it actually might have been something that we were watching on Netflix. We were watching Dharma, the Jeffrey Dahmer story, and there was I think it wasn't anything about him. There was it was one of the mums of one of the victims, and there was a scene, and I was gone. Oh, and then Thor Love and Thunder made me cry, but again, it wasn't the couple thing. It was at the very beginning where the dad's there with his daughter and he just feels so hopeless, and oh, sweet lordy. Yeah. Oh well, never mind. Okay, here we go. So, now that you all know that I am a complete wussy, I'm going to call it a day. I'll put up on the screen what our total is for the weekly challenge. I think we're on track to get there by the end of the year. It's not looking as daunting as it did when I first started it, to be honest. And I'm hopeful that maybe next year we'll be able to go complete it twice, which will give us, what, 2,700 over the course of the year. We'll have put 2,700 into savings, so that would be amazing. Anyway, so apologies for going off on a complete tangent, rambling, and just verbal diarrhea stuff. Very, very bad. Anyway, weekly challenges paid into. Toothless has a minuscule amount of change in him. Sorry, bud. But that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you are a loyal subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. Special thanks to those of you who take the time to like and comment, and I don't know if anyone shares my videos. I don't know if I get told if people share my videos, but if you do share them, thank you for thinking that anybody else would want to watch my stuff. If you are new and you've just found me and you've made it to the end of the video, thank you. Maybe you should consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell, and then you can watch all of my future videos. I will catch up with you in the next video, guys. Take care and happy budgeting.